As the younger generation gets ready to enter the real world, what they're going to do for the rest of their lives is one of the biggest decisions they will make. It weighs heavy on you, right? Many high school graduates are looking at other choices beyond just the traditional college route. The National Student Clearinghouse Research Center says college enrollment was 4% lower in 2022 than it was in 2021. This is schools for construction, the culinary arts, mechanics, all hit double-digit increases for the same year. Now, federal data shows a growing number of young adults are avoiding the usual four-year degree so they don't end up buried in student debt, including Joe Ramirez. He joins me now. Joe, good morning to you. Thanks for hopping on the show with me early this morning. You're a welder now, and I was reading that you say going to trade school was far and away the best decision you could have made for yourself. What made you go that route instead?
Yeah, thanks for having me on. So basically, the reason I ended up joining into a trade school was the fact that, being able to have an opportunity to get into a program that is easy to first get in and not have to worry about anything like a financial a burden going into it. I didn't know anything about welding whatsoever when I joined in. It was more of an outreach that got me. And getting into it from the jump there was something that I didn't expect to be as easy as it was.
And to your point, some of the biggest arguments for everybody kind of going against the grain and going against college are the skyrocketing tuition, the lack of practical on-the-job training. How did your program compare to what you would have gotten at a four-year university in those areas?
Sure. I mean, compared to the four-year degree, it was a 20-week program, 450 class hours where we're doing theory-based training. We're in a welding booth practicing with competent people that have real-world experience, and some of those things that have to do with like grants and scholarships, those are available as well. So it's not just, hey, I'm in a welding booth and I'm doing this and working hard physically. There's things that we're doing outside of just the welding. We're learning a lot too.
Yeah, and that 20-week program costs you 10 grand. That might be half a semester in college, depending on what school you go to.
Well, typically it's, I would say it's less than even the room and board that you would do in a typical, four-year diploma there.
Yeah. Saved you quite a bit of cash. What do you think are the downsides of entering the so-called tool belt generation instead of pursuing a college degree and jobs that require one?
Well, downsides, I mean, you have to have a hard work and good work ethic to be able to make some good money here. I think that, there isn't really too many downsides that I can see. I can't really speak to that, quite honestly.
How far do you want to take your welding career? I mean, what does a dream position in your shoes look like?
Sure. I mean, I'm still in the infancy of my career. I've only been in here since 2018. I could see myself, being a welder for quite a bit more time, working on things and welding things. But there's plenty of opportunities as far as teaching back that I've been starting to do, like some of those pictures there to some of the classmates and public that come into our trade school. There's also opportunities to do inspection and other types of jobs that aren't just the physical work. So I can see myself moving up on that degree.
Yeah, we'll be interested to follow you from afar and see how that goes. My last question for you, Joe, because I was curious. I mean, just this week, President Biden unveiled that plan that aims to reduce or eliminate federal student loan debt for about 30 million Americans. As someone who chose a trade school in part to avoid piling up a mountain of student debt, how do you react to that? Would you have chosen college if you thought your debts would have been paid?
Well, I mean, I think that's great for them if they get, some student loan relief. That's awesome. But nonetheless, I can speak to the fact that I got a certification that was less than 10 grand and was able to get moving and get going, not having to worry about a mountain of debt. For other people, that's wonderful. That's great. But for me, I've already started off and have a fresh slate here, making money for my retirement, making money for my wife and my family that I plan on beginning fairly soon here. And I think that's just wonderful.
Yeah, you've hit the ground running. Hey, next time I need something welded, I'm going to get your number. I'm going to call you. OK?
Yeah, no problem.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.